Yo people, we know AI can create a horror game, but can AI create a better horror game than human beings?
Can now make a game, but how does it compare to a human? Well, today I'm gonna find out by making my own game and then using an AI called Rosebud to try to recreate it even better. We'll compare them based on 3 categories and pick a winner. I partnered with Rosebud for this video, and we're also gonna host an AI game jam with a $1,000 prize. More on that later. For now, let's see my game. I started by making a candle, which is a weird thing to start with, but the entire game revolves around this thing. Basically, it burns down over time, and if it runs out, you get hunted by enemies. I'll explain more later, but for now, we need to get this thing working. I started by adding fire. It doesn't look great now, but I can change it later. But there's an even bigger problem. How do we show the player that the candle's melting? Well, I could make a bunch of different models, but that's gonna take way too long, and we're trying to get this done as fast as possible. I just made the candle stick a separate object so I could move it up and down like this. But from the player's point of view, it looked like it was melting. Kinda. But it'll definitely look better in the dark, so I want to make the map now. Last
That
time I
don't
made a
look like
house
it's
from
melting.
scratch, it took me over a week. So this time I'm gonna be using my resources. It still took a while to put all the parts together, but it was way faster than doing it from scratch. It looked pretty good, but there was one issue. It
Oh
looks like a
my
game
god,
right
look at the
now, but
candle.
not a horror game. Luckily, there's an easy fix. Just make it way too dark and give the player a light that's so dim they have to get 2 inches from their screen to see anything. This looked pretty good, and I liked that the candle was the only light in the house, except the fire just didn't look right. I ended up dropping 5 clams for this new one, and it looked so much better. This had me feeling confident, so I said, you know what, I'm gonna add particles that make the candle look like it's melting.
Bruh.
I was humbled and decided to move on. The main idea of the candle is that it goes down over time and you want to
Look,
keep it alive.
it's not melting
But
properly, that's
right now,
pissing me
there's
off.
nothing you can
That is
do to
pissing
keep
me
it
off.
alive. So next, we should add a way to get new candles. I copied and pasted the model all over the house. There are like 20 of them, but each one only has a chance of spawning in. So
Just because the way the candle is burning, AI wins it for me. I might as well end the video right here. Nah, I'm joking,
locations
but
will change
still,
every game.
that
Then I made
candle.
it so that if you go up to a candle and hit E, you can collect it and reset your light. It worked, but just to make it a little bit better, I added a simple animation which made it feel way better. Now the candle works completely, and your job is to keep it alive, because if
That's
it
not-
runs out... Okay, I don't really know. We should add that now. So I couldn't really decide what I wanted the enemy to be, and I had a lot of cool ideas, but it had to be something that you could kill with the candlelight. That way it would make sense that you have to keep the flame alive. Eventually, I decided the best enemy for this would be a doll. It's pretty easy to make, can be burned with a candle, and that's all we need. First, I made the model. I ended up making a voodoo doll since they're bald and hair is hard to make, and I'm not gonna lie, the model was not my best work, but once everything was textured, it looked pretty good. So how does he work? Well, I made it so if you find him while you still have the candle, you can light him on fire and win the game. This was pretty easy. I just added fire particles to him and made his material fade to black, so it kinda looked like he was being set on fire. Right now he's laying on the kitchen counter, but we can't have him just sit here all game. I want him to be able to move around the house. So I made a bunch of different spots where he can go, and he'll randomly move to one of these every few seconds. This way you had to search to find him, and since it was so dark, it was pretty difficult. This worked and made a basic objective. Find this dude before the candle runs out. But to make it more interesting, I want to give him some kind of ability. I decided to give him the ability to
That candle's
light
pissing me
a
off.
candle.
Candle
I made it
pissing
so
me off.
when he's moving, he has the chance to light a candle that you would have been able to pick
I
up.
never knew
This
a
just
candle would
wastes it
annoy
and
me.
makes
I
it
never
harder on
knew
you.
that.
Now there was motivation to find this dude as fast as possible, because if the candle runs out, he should be able to kill you, but I wasn't sure how to implement this in a quick way because time was running out. So I decided that he could catch you by doing nothing. It completely runs out. The doll has a bunch of new positions it can move to, and these are places where you're much more likely to walk, like directly behind a door or at the top of the stairs. It seems like he's out in the open, but since it's so dark and you won't have a light source, there's a
Already.
good chance that you'll walk.
I already wanna. You know what? I just wanna see AI now. You know, I feel like this game, I'm bored. Like, I don't know. Just bring me the AI guy, man. I know it's gonna be quick. It's gonna be entertaining. It's gonna be unique, and yep, and it's gonna be scary as well. Watch this one. The candle don't even burn properly, and that's just pissing me off. Make the candle burn properly, please.
And doing that will trigger the jump scare and end the game. But then I realized that there's no sound for this. With no sound and lights this dark, you couldn't see or hear anything. So we need to fix this. Luckily, making sound effects is kind of my thing. So I took this laugh and added a couple more sounds and a bunch of random effects. And I was able to create this. Maybe not perfect, but definitely better than last time. But with that, my game is finished. It's really simple, but it's coherent and borderline playable, which is a big win for me. But now, let's see if an AI can do any better. Here we are in Rosebud. You can tell it to write code and generate the art for your game. But is it better than a master developer like me? I started with a completely blank template and just asked it to let me move around with WASD. Wrote the code for this and it actually worked. Kinda. Sometimes your head would just keep spinning, but I just told it to fix this and then the movement was working fine. With that done, we can move on to the actual game and we have a lot of work to do. Let's start with the obvious. It's supposed to be a horror game, but right now our character is frolicking through a lovely grass field. We can't have that, so I made it generate a night sky. This might have worked a little too well because I can't see a thing anymore.
Wow.
I told it to make the candle to fix this, but I couldn't even tell if it was working because of how dark it was. So I told it to make
Look
it
how
brighter for
quick.
now and we can just reset it at the end. But with the candle in the game, I just told it to add a light that shrinks over time to simulate the candle melting. It worked right away and I was feeling really good about this. But don't worry, this feeling does not last long because the next step in this game is to make the house. But even the best 3D model generators simply can't do this yet. Since I didn't want to play into its weaknesses and AI is all about creating insane things that would never really exist, I decided to make the game take place somewhere I've never been before. Outside. I had to make a tree which ended up looking pretty weird, but I decided to just run with it. But there's definitely still more we can do to make this environment better. The ground doesn't fit for a horror game, so I replaced it with dirt instead. Since this looked kind of weird, I also made it generate grass patches which spawned randomly, and this helped it feel more full. It's looking pretty good so far, but it's still missing the ability to keep your flame alive like in the original. So I told it to add another candle that you could collect. I made sure it worked and then told it to add a random number in a bunch of random places. Now we can move on to the enemy, which is the part I've been most excited for. I told it to make a voodoo doll and
Are you serious, my brother?
there was something off about it, but it just kinda works for horror games. So I told the AI to make him wander around and hide behind certain candles. He's kinda hard to see, but he's there. And this way, if you weren't paying attention, you could walk right into him. With him working, now we just have to add the jump scare. I told Rosebud to make it so that if you touch the doll or run out of light, you get jump scared. And it actually turned out kinda creepy. But with that, the game's done. With both games done, it's time
Wow, look
to
how quick
determine
that
a
was.
winner. And the contest will be judged by none other than me. Is this fair? No. Okay, so the first category is speed.
No.
And this
Let me be the judge, yeah? Okay, who was faster? By watching the video, the AI. AI was faster.
isn't even a question. My goal was to complete the game as quickly as possible, and I ended up getting a basic prototype done in about 13 hours, spread across a couple different days. And this is super fast for a game. But the AI, on the other hand, got it done in maybe 2 hours. So I'll give this point to Rose.
Yeah, imagine that. Imagine you give AI 4 days. No, 30, was it 13 hours? Imagine you give AI 13 hours, bro. Yeah, what he would have created would have been mad. Right, where's the volume gone? Better art. Where's the... Oh, okay,
The way
my
it
bad.
worked. Me
Better-
on the AI B2 super fast. I'll give this point to Rosebud. The next category is art. The AI
Better
created a style
AI as well again. Because you didn't give AI enough time to create the art, so you can't blame AI.
and clean, especially the candle. So I'm gonna give this point to me.
I don't agree.
Now
Don't
for
worry.
the last category, fun. Which
More fun. AI one. AI.
same game. In my
AI.
game, you walk around a dark house,
AI.
which is kind of what I was intended for anyone without experience. Good pickaxe level and axe
What's
level.
this now?
Simple, but I'm not right. But thank you to everyone who participated.
Okay, I don't. The video just gone left. And the question was, can AI create a better horror game than Ocelot? Yeah, of course they can. Of course.